Hi all, welcome to a new video. So recently I was lucky enough to spend 10 days in Japan, and while I was there I got the opportunity to visit various game stores. I made a few really interesting purchases which I wanted to share with you all. So in the background now I'm just showing some photos and short clips I took while there. So I'll let these roll out before getting into the meat of it. So yeah, I'll be back shortly to show you what I purchased. Thanks for tuning in. Great, so with that out of the way, let's crack into this. I've put all the cards I picked up together into one package which I received. So let's get into it. So the first couple of cards that I've got here are actually some basics that I picked up. These are the APAC basics. This one here is actually of Myoto Iwa Shrine, located in Ise within Japan, which I actually got the chance to go and visit while I was there, and so kind of like as a souvenir I had to go and pick this up, and then because of that, you know, I had mismatching basics at that point, so I had to then pick up another really nice swamp as well for my deck. Just as a FYI, this is going into Death Shadow deck. These two, these would be my two basics, and yeah, really happy with both of them. You know, managed to pick this one up about 1,400 yen, which I'll put all the translations of what that is in GBP on the video. But yeah, so this, like I said, 1,400 yen. But unfortunately, I went to a shop later in the day where I picked this one up, where I found it for about 900. But you know, I mean, the same thing, that it happens. But then likewise with this one, actually, this I actually picked up at this second shop, which originally in the first shop I saw for 4,000 yen. I was like, that's too much. But then I saw this one, which was only 1,500, I think, and I was surprised actually, because this is one that they actually had marked as heavily played, and I mean, I'll get it out of the inner sleeve that it's in now, but I mean, this looks pretty pristine to me. Another bonus really of, I guess, getting cards in Japan, because it seems like they're very strict on the grading over there, and so yeah, when you get a card like this, which for some reason is marked as heavily played and is actually marked down, happy days, you know. So that's those two. Next, picked up a Japanese spell book. These run for a few quid, I think, in the UK normally. This one I actually picked up for, I believe it was 50 yen. So absolute bargain here. Again, this is actually going straight into one of my commander decks, because it's a card that I've considered getting, but I didn't really have enough reason to get it. But you know, finding it for the right price is great. And you know, having it in Japanese is pretty cool as well. Next up, a Mother of Runes, again 50 yen. Picked up this and a lot of the other cheaper bits, actually just going through a lot of the kind of like almost unsorted boxes, where kind of like pretty much all the cards were just listed like there as 50 yen, which is nothing really. So again, not sure what I'm going to do with this yet, but just this is a great pickup anyway. Can see playing loads of decks, and if I ever make the transition to Legacy, then who knows, that might get played. Next card is Worship. As you can see, 200 yen on this one. So this one is slightly cheaper than what you'd find in the UK. Urza Saga, I believe that is. So cool to get it in the original printing as well. That's what I believe it is, at least. And this actually I've got a home for in in Modern in Mardu Death Shadow. For when I play that, this is a really good sideboard piece because you can basically go down to 1 life, and then if you're against burn or something, you've got these huge Death Shadows which your opponent just can't kill. You just have 12/12s for the rest of the game, and kind of like that just ends the game there, really. Yeah, so great pickup there. The next one is a Protean Hydra. This was actually on a day that I went into a store which I didn't have internet, and again I found this in one of the bargain bins for 50 yen. Wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do with this, and I wasn't even exactly sure how much it was worth, but I thought this might just be one that I picked up for an absolute bargain where it was worth a bit more, but it turns out it's not worth too much, but still looks like a really strong card actually, so I'm going to definitely be putting this in a commander deck. Yep. Next one, again another commander staple. What I noticed about all the commander staples in particular, it seems like perhaps it's not quite as big in Japan, so a lot of these staples are a lot cheaper actually than what you'd find in the UK or the US. So this is a Japanese burgeoning from Conspiracy. Usually I think these sort of run the £6-7 mark in the UK, but as you can see here, 280 yen, which I'll put the translation up, but about just over £2, I think that is. Yeah, again, this one's definitely going into commander deck. They had a few of these in stock actually at the shop I found this in, but I didn't have a reason to get more than one, so just picked up the one of these. Next is this dude. I'm forgetting the name of him now, now that I've come around to recording, but this is the one that you can pay X basically, and all of your creatures become XX until end of turn. Or base power XX, I should say, until end of turn, and he's a changeling as well. So this can be really good in like token decks and things like that, especially in, so he's playing in some commanders at least that go wide. So again, 50 yen on this one, which seems pretty good, and was one of the first cards I found there, and I was like, this is a bargain, I've got to get this. And then after going out to other shops, I was like, there's some bargains elsewhere as well, that perhaps I jumped the gun a bit too much on this one, but I mean, not much at all. So that was all good. I'll find a use for this somewhere. Oh, computer going off in the background. But yeah, I'll find a use for this somewhere. The next one, and this is probably one of my favourite finds of the trip, I got a playset of Oracle of Moldire's for very cheap. As some of you may be aware, this in the UK and US goes for quite a lot of money. Like these could be £20-25 each, sort of thing. As you can see here, 779 yen on these three here, which I picked up in one shop. And then this one here, I don't know if this is, it doesn't have the price on the back of it. This was just over 1,000 yen. And so these three here are in basic Chinese, and then this one is in Japanese. And these are going to be, essentially I'm just going to use as trade fodder, I think, unless I do some kind of green-black value town sort of deck in Modern or something. But yeah, these are great finds, and I'm gonna definitely be sticking these in commander decks and things like that, because bargain. You don't find deals like this in the UK or the US anywhere. Yeah, so that's probably one of my favourite finds, to be honest. Next up, I also picked up a full playset of Japanese opts from Invasion. As you can see, these are really cool art, the original printing, and get to see, this is played in quite a lot in Modern now that it's been printed into that, but Pioneer as well. So yeah, these are actually going to be a gift for one of my mates who he asked me to try and find a foil Azami Lady of Scrolls for his commander deck, but as hard as I tried to find that, couldn't find it anywhere. So this is I guess a parting gift, as a sorry I couldn't find that sort of thing. But these were 50 yen each, so not much money at all really. And yeah, these will be a cool addition for his decks, because he's a big blue player. So yeah, they're cool. Next up, I picked up a Runed Halo. This is actually a sideboard piece for Martyr Proc, which is actually one of my first modern decks that I ever played. And you know, I still have like a strong affinity to it. Yeah, it's still one of my favorite decks really. So I have currently in the sideboard of that deck, I've got one Runed Halo, but actually I've always kind of wanted a second copy, and I've always wanted to match the set symbol of Shadowmoor. I didn't want to get the Ultimate Masters printing, so I picked this up for, I guess, slightly cheaper than what you'd perhaps find in the UK. So that's cool. Yeah, not really a bargain on that one, but I saw it and I was like, yep, I fancy that. Next up, another Commander card really, Beastmaster Ascension. These, I believe, usually run a few pounds in the UK, but you can see this is 100 yen, so bargain on that. The original was Zendikar printing as well, which is cool. And yeah, it's just a good Commander card, so that will get some use as well. Up next, a few cards actually that I just wanted for my decks and weren't particularly modern deck I should say, so not particularly cheap or anything, but just run through what I got. So this is a Pithing Needle from Ravnica. Perhaps at some point I'll look at changing these into the Kamigawa ones, because that would be pretty sweet. But yeah, Pithing Needle, always a useful card. Next up is an Ashiok from World of Spark. This is the Japanese art one, which is cool. Not in foil, this one, but this is going in the sideboard of Death Shadow. Really good against like Scape Shift and just graveyard hate as well. So that's cool. Next up, an Engineered Explosive from Fifth Dawn. Again, just a cool pickup. Not particularly cheap or anything, but that was cool. The next card is a Pyromancer's Goggles in Japanese. Again, these usually run a few pounds in the UK. And yeah, this is going to go in one of the Commander decks I'd like to start building, which is Wart the Raid Mother. If I do end up building that, this is more than likely going to go into that, because that's just more copying spells, which is great. Yeah, so on eBay actually, a few days after I got back though, I actually found a foil English copy of these being sold, which I bidded on just in the thought that like it was only listed for about £2.40 when I saw it. I'd put £2.60 on it, and I ended up winning that. So I don't know if I'll actually use this one now, because I'll probably just use the English one in foil as well. So, you know, perhaps some trade fodder there, which is cool. That's all good. The next one is a Grim Lavamancer. Again, I think this is going to go in the sideboard of Death Shadow. Or at least I'm going to give it a try and see how it does. Just to, I guess, diversify the threats and perhaps be another sort of way around getting around ensnaring bridges and, you know, prison sort of decks, things like that. So yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Next up is a Crater Hoof Behemoth. Again, because this is a big Commander card. Again, I'm not sure if this doesn't have the exact price on the back. This was about 2,000 yen in total, which, considering how it's actually somewhat hard to find these actually in the UK in some of the online stores from what I've seen, and generally I go for a lot more. This is pretty cool. So you know, this is from original Dark Ascension, as a Japanese printing of Crater Hoof, which is really cool. So yeah, again, green commander card. This is going to go straight into a deck. So that's cool. Next was a Colligan's Command. You can see here 1,890 yen for this one. So I guess slightly cheaper than you might find it in the UK, but not by very much. So yeah, this is just a card that I fancied having another copy in Death Shadow just to give it a try. So yeah, I'll be trying that. Next up is a few cards in here actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, so I start from the top here. This is a Fauna Shaman from Ultimate Masters. This one I found actually in a bargain bin for 30 yen, and these go for a few pounds in the UK, more like something like £5 I think. So that was a cool find. Again, very commander playable. So I don't know what I'm going to do this yet. Either put it in commander deck or use this trade fodder, I think. But you know, really cool and really good bargain there, which is the main reason I picked that up. The next one, very similar actually. I found in the same trade bin a Glenalendra, which these go for even more than the Fauna Shamans. Again from Ultimate Masters. So that's a really cool pickup, really. Next one. Oh yes, I also found a Dig Through Time, which since Pioneer's now a thing and this is legal in it now, these have gone up in price a bit. And again, this one was 30 yen. So yeah, I'll probably just put this in the trade binder. But great pickup there, I think. Then I picked up 2 Coat of Arms. Again, one in these cheaper bins of just almost unsorted stuff. As you can see, 50 yen here on both of these, where you know, in the UK you might spend like £5, £6, £7 on a copy of this. They are a bit worse for wear. I'd say these are probably like medium play or something, light play, medium play. But you know, these are again really commander playable cards. So I'll be you know, putting them in a commander deck. I might even give one of these to a mate, because I don't probably need to. But yeah, you know, cool cards. And then the final one was just a Yavimaya Elder. I'd actually seen this card before, or at least from what I remembered, but it seemed like a cool card. Picked it up for 10 yen, so not really much to say on this one. But yeah, it's cool. So that's everything. It's probably quite a long video actually, because I'm just looking at the pile beside me and it's a bit bigger than I thought it was. But you know, really enjoyed the trip. Really enjoyed looking around at all the game stores. So yeah.
Oh, you dropped it?